All right, so you're in Lexington, North Carolina, and you're looking for a dog trainer? Well, you are in the perfect spot. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find the absolute best fit for you and your furry best friend.
You know, living in Lexington is pretty great for dog owners, right? I mean, you've got the barbecue festival, those amazing walks around High Rock Lake. There are just so many adventures to be had. And that is what having a dog is all about.
And let's be honest, having a well-behaved dog just makes all of that stuff so much more enjoyable. Good training is really what lets you confidently walk down Main Street or hang out at the park without any stress. Okay, so how do you actually find that person, the right trainer? Well, let's start with the most important thing, what they believe in and how they train.
So the big thing you're going to hear about is positive reinforcement. And really, it's just what it sounds like. It's not about punishing bad behavior. Nope. It's all about rewarding the good stuff, the behavior you want to see, with things like treats or a simple good boy. This is how you build a real, trusting relationship with your dog. It's science-backed, it works, and it's just kinder.
Now, a good philosophy is one thing, but you also want to know that your trainer is serious about what they do. And that's where credentials come in. Think of them as proof that they've put in the work, they've studied, and they're up to date on the best ways to help your dog.
Okay, you're going to see a bunch of letters after trainers' names. It can be kind of confusing, so let's just quickly break down the big ones. That CPDTKA, it means they've passed a big test on how dogs learn. The KPA-CTP, that's a sign they've had a lot of hands-on practice with positive reinforcement. And if you see IABC-CDBC, that's a person who specializes in more serious stuff, like major fear or aggression.
All right, so you've checked out their style and their credentials. Next up, what kind of training program is actually right for your dog and your life?
So you've got two main choices here. Private lessons are amazing if you need to tackle specific issues, especially stuff that happens at home, like, going crazy when the doorbell rings. It's all about that one-on-one focus. Then you've got group classes. These are awesome for getting your dog used to being around other dogs and people. Plus, they're usually a bit more budget-friendly. Great for general manners.
And then there's the board and train option. This is where your dog basically goes to a training boot camp. It can be a great way to get a head start, but here's the deal, and this is so important. The real key is what happens when they come home. A good program will make sure you know how to keep up all that great work. If they don't focus on training you too, that progress can disappear fast.
Okay, let's talk about the practical stuff, what this is going to cost and what you absolutely need to ask before you sign up.
So here's a rough idea of what you can expect to pay in the Lexington area. As you can see, a 6-week group class is pretty reasonable, right around a couple $100. But something like a 2-week board and train, well, that's a much bigger investment. Just seeing these numbers helps you figure out what makes sense for your budget and your goals. Okay, so you've got your budget, now you're ready to talk to some trainers. So what should you actually ask them? Think of these 5 questions as your must-ask list. First, just ask them to describe how they train. This makes sure you're on the same page. Then ask about certifications to double-check their background. You also want to know if they customize their programs, how they track your dog's progress, and of course, what the total cost is. No surprises. Get these answers and you'll have a really clear picture.
All right, you found your trainer. Awesome. Now let's talk about where you can put all that hard work into practice. Right here in Lexington, and we'll start with a local rule everyone needs to know.
This is a big one, so listen up. In Davidson County, your dog has to be on a leash and under your control anytime you're not on your own property. It's the law. So teaching your dog to walk nicely on a leash isn't just about making your life easier, you're legally required to do it.
But the good news is, we've got some amazing places to practice those leash skills. Seriously, take your dog out to Boone's Cave Park or the trails near High Rock Lake. They are perfect spots to work on that loose leash walking in the real world.
And here are a few other great spots to keep in mind. The Lexington Dog Park is obviously perfect for that safe, off-leash playtime. We mentioned High Rock Lake. It's great for getting your dog used to new sights and smells. And hey, for a real challenge, you can even take your leash dog to some of the Davidson County public libraries. It's an incredible way to practice just being calm and settled in a quiet public space.
Look, at the end of the day, all this work is about one thing: making life with your dog more enjoyable. It means your walks are relaxing, your park visits are fun, and just strolling through your neighborhood is a happy experience. You're not just training your dog, you're building an amazing life together here in Lexington. Hope you find the perfect trainer.